Welcome to the Sector Spin with Terry. In this video series, I share with you what I'm watching each week in various sector industry subgroups. This week, I'm going to take a look at leading industry groups in the industrial sector. There's little doubt that government spending on new infrastructure bill would give a big boost to many stocks in the industrial sector. Let's take a look to see which of these industry subgroups are currently positioned to move into and/or continue a leadership role in the next several months. The industrial sector is broken down into 16 different distinct industry subgroups. Now, as you can see here from the weekly RRG chart, most have northerly vectors, meaning that they are seeing increasing momentum. About half the group is currently outperforming the S&P as gauged by this relative strength index. Stocks with a relative strength index greater than 100 are outperforming the benchmark, and those less than 100 are currently underperforming. Now, what we are interested in is finding those groups that are moving in northeasterly directions, which means that they are gaining both momentum and seeing increasing relative strength. Now, let's run a quick screen here on this industry group, and I'll set it up pointing to this industry list, and it's nothing more than just a simple let's check the heading and make sure that it is between 10 and 80 on the weekly time frame. And we'll run that scan, and let's export that into a page layout. And now here is that group. So I really just only filtered it down from 16 to 9. So you can see the majority of the groups here in this industrials are still rising in a northeasterly vector. From here, I'm just going to eyeball a few groups that I want to analyze further. Now, I like it when I see movement back from the weakening quadrant back into the leading quadrant. Usually stocks in this pattern have recently experienced a period of consolidation and are rising once again in an impulsive fashion. So let's select this Aerospace group, and this here is the Diversified Industrials group. Now up here you can see airline stocks are up in the lead and do look to continue their strengthening, but likely many of the stocks here have well extended price structure and may not be suitable for adding a new position at this time. I also like to see stocks with improving trends as indicated by these blue vectors, and especially those that are set to breach over into the leading quadrant. So let's select this trucking index as well. Now we can open each of these groups to see the individual stocks in each and continue our analysis and filtering. Let's search for the Aerospace group. Here it is. And I'll open that one in the same page layout. Let's go ahead and open all three, just make it easy. Here's the Diversified Industrials. Open that. And one more. We want to find that trucking firm. Here's the trucking group. And we'll start with the Aerospace. So here's the Aerospace group. It's sorted by relative strength ratio from highest to lowest. Now first in this group is EHang Holdings. Let's zoom out a little bit because you can see this stock is it's a Chinese firm that specializes in autonomous aerial vehicle technology. So think drones, I guess. So very high relative strength, but currently declining momentum and likely attributed to price consolidation. So here's the price analysis chart. You can see this stock has been in a big decline after a huge run-up. It's currently trading below its 20 and its 50-day, but still above the 200-day moving average. Next on this list is Sir Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic. Now, Also, you can see here both of these stocks, these two, EH and Virgin Galactic, have extreme relative strength ratios, but they've both also been experiencing a lot of consolidation. Now let's take a look at some others here. Let me zoom in. Let's get rid of those outliers. Here's another group of stocks that's moving up from this weakening zone back up here into the leading zone. Let's just thumb through those real quick and see what we see. This first one is Hexcel, and you can see its price structure has been a little overlapping, but it is in a nice uptrend. It is holding support above the 50-day moving average here. Let's look at this next one, which is Textron. Textron's also been in a nice uptrend. Also, I tell you what, I can switch this layout to put the price over here on the right and give you a little bit bigger table. There we go. Let's do that. So let's go back and say, here is Hexcel. And I usually like to put some support and resistance zones on here and give myself a trend line and anchor that trend line here. That usually gives me a pretty good idea of how this stock is performing. You could probably even draw yourself a trend line all the way through those highs. This looks like an upper trend resistance level there. But we still have a nice uptrend in place there. Here's Textron. Let's flip over to Textron. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here to show you that Textron has recently surpassed its pre-COVID highs. And here's a couple of nice support levels. And you can also clearly see a nice uptrend in play there with Textron. Here's Boeing. Everybody knows Boeing. Boeing has been in a big recovery mode. Southwest Airlines just recently confirmed a 100 airplane order with Boeing, and I believe it was all 737 Maxes. So you can see Boeing it's not yet reached its pre-COVID high, but it has a lot more room to the upside and is currently trending higher. Let's see. The other stock on here is Raytheon. So let's look at Raytheon. This is Raytheon United Technologies. They merged several years ago. And similarly, I see Raytheon also has not yet reached its pre-COVID highs, but it is trending northward again. So there's price appreciation in that. All right, let's switch over here to Diversified Industrials and take a look here. Let's focus on those with rising northeasterly headings and those that are approaching a move across the leading quadrant. Let's take a look here at Interpack Tool Group. We'll take a look at 3M. This is Otter Tail Corporation and Stanley Black & Decker. Likewise, I'm going to just go ahead and switch the layout here to this different layout, and then we'll start in here first with Interpack. And this is the first that I'm getting a look at these price charts too, guys. So if you don't see any annotations or notes on here, I haven't looked at these before, but I can eyeball and tell you real quickly this stock is in a nice uptrend, and it's certainly very tradable. Whoops, getting in too big of a rush there. Anchor that, and then we'll draw that line. And I could even probably set that as a parallel trend channel, either here or here. You can see that looks like a nice parallel trend channel in the works there. Now there is some overlap here, so this is not purely impulsive on this time frame. This is an impulsive move higher. This is a consolidation. All right, let's take a look at We want to look over here at these that are rising. So we want to look at 3M. So let's find 3M. So 3M is currently in the improving quadrant. Lots of northerly momentum. I think I've got some annotations here. I was saying that 220 looks to be the next resistance level to the upside. Again, that's a here's the pre-COVID highs from January a year ago. Those have been breached, and we've recently breached another little line here. This one here may still be a resistance because I don't see a clean break of it, but a nice uptrend in play here in 3M. I certainly think this company will be a big beneficiary of any government spending in infrastructure plays. Here's the Otter Tail Corporation. Let's take a look at that. So, not real keen on this guy's price chart, but I will tell you that this guy has broken this downtrend channel here, has been broken, and this stock is now basing and reestablishing itself potentially in a new uptrend. We might be able to see something like this, and I can even copy that and pin it there, and there might be potentially another uptrend. So the further we move to the left, we have an underperforming relative strength. That's why you don't see stocks that start out over here in the left. You don't see them seriously outperforming the market. But the vector is giving us an indication that this stock is moving into such a position that it may soon become an outperformer. Let's switch over here to Stanley Black & Decker, and you can see the relative strength ratio is less than 100 here, so it has definitely been underperforming. And that's curious, but it's really probably due to this large period of consolidation that's just been range bound right there for that period of time since like October of last year. This is just a big consolidation period right here. But now if you look, we've broken above this level, and that is now the new support line. Here's the pre-COVID high. Here's some intermediate support levels that were established, and there's a nice uptrend in play here with Stanley Black & Decker. It looks like a resumption, right? So some period of sideways consolidation, and now we have a new uptrend in play from here going forward. I'll zoom in a little bit here, give you a little bit more near-term price chart. You can see the green bars here also tell me that the trend is leading, right? So this stock may be sitting in the improving quadrant, but it has a leading trend, telling me that it's currently in an outperforming mode. So certainly you look for opportunities to buy where we are running above the 20-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. You can see that cross occurred back here around the 1st of March here. Nice move higher and a continued move on. All right, finally, let's jump into this trucking firm and take a look and see here. SAIA is rising back from this weakening quadrant, and this stock has had, if we look at the price chart on SAIA, let's go ahead and, well, first off, I want to tell you, we're going to talk about SAIA, and then I think we'll take a look at Universal Logistics here, and maybe Old Dominion Freight Line or J.B. Hunt. Okay, these guys look like they're very interesting coming across here. You've also got some other stocks down here in the improving quadrant. As you can see, there's just too much that we can do in such a short period of time. I'm going to flip this back over to my other layout, which puts my price chart here in the front. Let me show you SAIA. This guy has just a steady growth rate. Look at the rise that it's made in just the past year since coming off of COVID bottoms here. And a clean recovery, a V-shaped recovery occurred from its pre-COVID highs. It broke out from there in May. And you've just been riding this 50-day up. Good opportunities here. There was a dip here in September that penetrated below that 50, but it recaptured that 50. Here's another test in October. Here's another test in January. Here's another test just a week ago. Right, so nice uptrend channel in play with this guy rising out of the weakening, heading back into the leading quadrant. I think this is a good one. Now I want to contrast that with this one here, Covenant Logistics Group, right? So let me show you where Covenant is over here in the relative rotation. So here's SAIA coming up out of the weakening. Here is Covenant. Covenant came across very high up, meaning the higher it is here, meaning it has a lot of momentum running. But the relative strength is lower than that of SAIA. Okay, the relative strength is greater than 100, but it is lower. Okay, so the difference in these two price charts, you can see where this guy has come. There's a huge period of consolidation that this guy has had to contend with, and it has also likely come to a conclusion. It's very close right now. I may even say that until we cleanly break through that, I think you're right on the edge right now of declaring the end of this period of consolidation, and this guy has the opportunity now to move excessively higher. Successively, not excessively, successively higher. So I like what I see there. Let's take a look at Old Dominion Freight Lines. Here is Old Dominion Freight Line, same kind of thing. You can see this period of consolidation cleanly broken in February and a resumption of an uptrend in place. A nice long period of rising performance in this stock. Certainly poised to continue on with that. Here's JB Hunt, and I think we'll leave it at that. JB Hunt, V-shaped recovery, broke out in July. Big period of consolidation occurred here in this one from August to October, and then it had to overcome that. It attempted to overcome it, got rejected a second time back down into that zone, but now from this price level right here, that support line, we now have the resumption of another uptrend in play with JB Hunt. I hope you can take these ideas that I'm presenting to you and apply further technical analysis to develop your watch list so you can plan your trade with strong stocks as the markets continue to push higher. As you can see, having a powerful tool such as Optima to help us drill into the details of the sectors and the sector subgroups gives us a key advantage and an ability to be more selective in the stocks which we choose to trade and or add to our portfolio. Best wishes in your trading ventures, and be sure to check us out at tradinganalysis.com. Have a happy Easter, everyone.